would also, just because we're getting into the weeds, before we continue in the weeds, at the 30,000 foot view, I would encourage anyone who's considering podcasting to ask themselves, why do you want to do this? Because the format that I chose is something that I love to do. I do it anyway. And I mean, I pick the brains of experts, whether there's a recording rolling or not. And I figured, well, if I'm going to have these conversations with my friends and other people and experts, it's such a shame that it has an expiration date. It's gone as soon as the conversation ends and it's trapped in my head. Why don't I just record these? I don't think people should podcast because they feel that it is the latest shiny tool in an arsenal of social media and media toolkits that they need to adopt to remain relevant. You won't make it, in my opinion, if you do that, because there are going to be people like me who, even if I'm not getting paid, would still put in easily. If I'm excited about something, I'll put in 100 hours a week. It doesn't bother me, right? And I would do it for free. So it's not a zero-sum game. Many podcasts can compete, but you're going to be at the higher levels contending with hundreds of people like me who love this format. And the sort of elephant graveyard of podcasting is littered with 3-episode podcasts.
This is interesting. I think this is good broad advice as far as, I think these mediums are going to change. It's a matter, but being excited about something isn't. If you just feel like your brand needs to embrace the latest technology, then maybe you should think more about it. I mean, I'm in Austin for the Austin Film Festival, and I sat in on a lot of panels, and one of the advices that film producers said, if there's a trend for slasher horror, then it's probably too late for you to write a slasher horror film just to be a part of the market. Because the person who dreams and eats and breathes slasher horror already has 3 scripts that are in circulation. Yep. And by the time you're done with your script, then the eye of Hollywood is going to move on to something else. Yeah. And so that's interesting.
Yeah, pick a format that gets you excited. And this is where the developing skills and relationships is important. If you could not ever get paid for this, would the payment per se in skills developed and relationships be enough to keep you doing what you're considering doing? And if not, I wouldn't pull the trigger. For me, it's been a huge success by any measure. And I was told, I should say also, when I started however many years ago, by many people, it's too late. Podcasting ship has sailed, man. You should have started 3 years ago. There's still so much room. There's so much room. And I remember something that I was told by Rick Rubin, who's been on the podcast, has become a friend, legendary music producer. I mean, for those who don't know him, I won't bore you, but it's like Beastie Boys, Jay-Z, Eminem,
Johnny Cash,
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red
Hot Chili Peppers.
I love Rick Rubin.
Slayer, discovered LL Cool J along with Russell Simmons.
Visionary. He is responsible for turning hip hop into single length. Sorry to interject with this, but hip hop used to be like 15-minute party jams. Yeah. And Rick Rubin, in his early Def Jam days, basically used the rock principle of the verse, chorus, verse, 3-minute song. Yeah. Anyway, don't get me started on Rick Rubin.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. And I was chatting with him at one point because I had a pending deadline for something else, and he said, in effect, just put it out when it's great. And he said, and I interpreted that to mean like it's always a good time for great, and there's never a good time for mediocre. So in other words, that's just to reassure people that if you think you've missed the ship, oh my God, like it's too late to get on Instagram, it's too late to get on fill in the blank, to become involved with podcasting. It's complete nonsense because most people half-ass it. They feel rushed, they put out a mediocre product, and there's never a good time for that. They will fail, or they will hate what they do. And you can avoid both of those just by making something really, really good. And it's still the case in my experience in podcasting that if you have even a bare modicum of promotional ability, if your stuff is really, really, really good, it will find its audience, or the audience will